Everyone will wait till everyone's gotten their drinks to start, but just want to say hi and welcome. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We know there's a lot of other things you could be doing with your Saturday night. I mean, not that many because it's Boston, but in any case, thanks for coming by. And thanks for taking time out of your weekend to join us for this premiere concert-style reading of Haber, an original musical. The cast has been working super hard to put this together, and it really means a lot to us to have a lot of support from friends and family. So this is for those of you who aren't as familiar with the lifespan of a musical, this is kind of the typical first step in a musical's journey from page to stage. So your input will help us improve this show. It's still a dynamic, malleable, evolving show. And so anything you find confusing or any songs you especially like or any songs you hate, tuck those away into your brain, and I'll send out a survey at some point later. So thanks in advance for your help in making this and helping the show evolve. And yeah, without further ado, welcome to Haber.
Heil Hitler. Thank you for joining me today on the anniversary of the death of our friend and colleague, Fritz Haber. As you may know, adherence to their party duties have prevented many of our friends from attending today's memorial, but they do wish to make it known that they send their thoughts. I am also bound to remind you, per ministry to please refrain from reporting on today's ceremony. Still, today ought to be a joyous occasion. It is our final farewell. It is a celebration of the life of a kind-hearted, honorable man, a brilliant scientist, a true patriot, a fighter for Germany whose magnificent discoveries kept us afloat during the early years of the World War, and whose impact on German science as a whole cannot be overstated. Professor Haber was.
Oh, dear friend, you always spoke of progress. When did the gods of progress lead us all astray? When Germany's bright stars are slowly being extinguished, to whom now can we turn to light up our way? I look back on those early, heady days. It seemed impossible to imagine our hopes and dreams dying. Our whole life lay ahead of us, and science held the answers. And we fought for a nation that now leaves us behind. It's thick in the air, the spirit of progress, assuming its place on the altars of prayer. It basks in the flattering glow of success. It lights up the mind's eye with futures of plenty, pervading the zeitgeist as we round the century. One really does feel that already secrets are all about to be revealed. And how many men, given the key, could resist the urge to see where it leads, could resist the chance to pass through history's arches, the portals to power and glory and fame, to etch into stone their achievements and name. It's the stuff of legend, a Faustian bargain, a Mephistophelian deal. Heroes are made from the same mold as villains, their portraits lit up or made dark by its frame. And history is left with mere outlines to fill in, a tale to recount, a statue to mount, a myth to tear down, an echoing story and name. Twists of history can be surprising, and fortune favors those who adapt. Can you blame a hard-working patriot for rising up from his station, up for his nation, up to the occasion when his shoulder was tapped? Haber, you might have been known as a saint. Did you guess that your legacy would be so tainted? You're seen as a savior, you fell out of favor, though truly you gave your country the bulk of your soul. From the peaks of your fame you quickly descended, your long rise to eminence abruptly ended, and your hubris and pride put you on the wrong side of a senseless divide, spiraling out of control. But how many men, given the key, could resist the urge to see where it leads, could resist the chance to pass through history's arches, the portals to power and glory and fame, to etch into stone their achievements and name. It's the stuff of legend, a Faustian bargain, a Mephistophelian deal. Humble beginnings, big fish, small pond. That's how these stories tend to start, it seems. Germany was rising fast, united, prosperous, freshly cast. The time was right for dreamers chasing dreams at full steam.
Full steam ahead. Gotta get out of here. Can't spend another year circling in this small town eddy. My bags are all packed, I'm getting in on the action with all my questions at the ready. 'Cause the future is bright with a glow of progress. And chemists and physicists are lighting up the way. Germany soars and we keep moving forward, full steam ahead.
Fritz, just keep this in mind. Some doors don't open for our kind. Ambition isn't quite enough to scale age-old walls. So stay in Breslau, can't you see? This talk of progress tires me. And those who seek the highest heights fall harder falls.
Don't you see that doesn't matter now? Don't be so high-strung. I'm off to climb the ladder now, rung by rung. I want to build the future and help our nation rise. And science lays the tracks on which the train of progress flies. I'm reaching for the skies, full steam ahead. The star of mankind's will and striving, nothing on this earth can dim it. Day by day we keep on driving, hurtling towards our outer limits. And science leads the charge, it's a rising tide. A tide that transforms everything and lifts all boats alike. The future's unstoppable and everything's possible, full steam ahead. Full steam ahead, full steam ahead. We each pursue a truth that trumps all else. For science is the way to reach more perfect versions of ourselves. And full steam ahead we'll sail into a future oh so near, where reasoning and thought prevail, and clouds all fade and skies are clear.
Too good for Breslau, too good for my trade, too good to know you've got it made here. Such an idealist, such a poet. Well, go on then, be gone. Go climb the ladder, leave us fine. Go chase your stars, but keep in mind that those who climb too high are often burned by the sun.
I promise I will make you all proud. Give me just a few years' time. When others look at me, they'll find A true German, a patriot through and through, a true son of the fatherland, a champion for the truth. A true German, blood and iron to the core, with science as my weapon as we rise to the fore. With science as my weapon as we rise to the fore. Full steam ahead.
And young Fritz was off to Berlin to breathe in that Berliner Luft. Take a whiff of it. Do you feel the energy? Under the linden trees in Berlin, can you feel the winds of change blowing in? In Berlin, there's something in the air.
You can begin again in Berlin. The door's open wide, so come on and jump in. In Berlin, there's something in the air. A city alive with opportunities, a city that thrives on possibilities. A new day's here and it's all yours to seize under the linden trees.
Welcome, young scholars. Today's lesson, German exceptionalism. Today we'll speak to Johann Fichte's philosophy's dichotomies. You know that he thought of these times we live in as a transition. We're caught in the spot between instinct and reason. This transformation affects all nations, but Germany's destined to emerge as the best and reach her full potential. Only then shall history cycle near its end.
Walk through the streets of Berlin and you'll meet intellectual grandees all exchanging ideas. In Berlin there's something in the air. Yes, now's the season for knowledge and reason. Learn as you please at your own pace and leisure. In Berlin there's something in the air.
In Berlin's universities, the brightest minds in Germany gathered here to shoot the breeze under the linden trees.
Observations, patience, precise executions. 3 ingredients lacking in this messy solution. And Haber bitter, repeat this delusion. It looks like a beer garden too gone awry. I hired your fools on the now doubtful premise. You aspire to become respectable chemists. I hope to God you don't make me regret this. You know how many applicants I had to deny.
Come on, ride the wave to the world that you crave. Now the route to your future is laid out and paved. In Berlin there's something in the air. Keep moving along to stand out in the throng. Keep singing your song till you prove you belong. In Berlin there's something in the air. Progress in science and culture and art, where Germany's champions can all get their start. A city in motion, a beating, pulsing heart under the linden. City alive with opportunities, a city that thrives on possibilities. A new day's here and it's all yours to seize under the linden trees, under the linden trees, under the linden trees, under the linden trees.
And so our young chemist got his foot in the door, beginning a lifelong romance with science. But before he could continue rising up the scientific ladder, first he had to fulfill a rite of passage essential for any properly patriotic young German: a year volunteering with the army. And this is where Fritz Haber's second lifelong romance began.
Obedience, duty, ingredients for success.
Rise through the ranks upon your own merit. Obedience, duty, this is the Juncker legacy, a legacy of greatness that we now inherit. Obedience, duty, allegiance to the Kaiser, orders carried out and loyalties rewarded. Obedience, duty, service to the fatherland, defending our nation as those who came before did.
For our young nation's unification, the deal was sealed in Prussian tradition, encircled by enemies, baptized in blood, under the eye of our master tactician.
Yes, Chancellor Bismarck, he left his mark, the ultimate source of a growing force, and the essential engine of our ascension is our organized, dignified military corps. Now you have the honor of serving your country.
The seeds of your future are sown drill by drill.
By the time you are done with your year volunteering, you'll
Have a patriot's heart and an iron will. So now Kaiser Wilhelm ascends to the throne,
At best a bit brash, at worst quite unstable.
but it's worth a mention that he pays attention. The army will now have a seat at his table. A brand new era's about to begin. Bismarck's star is starting to fall. We'll finally be able to get a word in once Kaiser Wilhelm is finally installed.
It's time for renewal, and I'm sure that you will agree now the moment's to change the old guard. We both feel strongly about how things should go on here. Bismarck, I hope you won't take this too hard. I feel that our nation is becoming soft. The fires that molded us are growing cold. If we want to adapt, we need a useful new captain. You've shown in your time, but your act's getting old. So pack up your things, your tenure is done. I have plans I'd like to start putting in place. This Kaiser's a pilot, not a figurehead. Germans, your leadership has a new face. I'm a modern monarch with modern ideas. A true man of action, just ask anyone. I have aspirations to take our great nation and finally win it a place in the sun. In dreams I'm inspired to build an empire, a smattering of colonies and overseas forts. I have grand designs for a naval armada, dozens of warships protecting our ports. Why have an army if it's not being used? I'm quite a big fan of realpolitik. Let's prove ourselves among Europe's great powers. Let's make our neighbors listen up when we speak.
Long live the Kaiser, leader and commander. Long live Germany and long live her defenders. Long live the Kaiser, a leader and commander. Long live Germany and long live her defenders.
Reporting for duty, sir. Long live Germany. I'm ready for anything. What is my post?
Welcome in, you're a young volunteer. We need more lads like you, you're more eager than most. Memorize these rules and regulations. Here's your assignment and uniform too. Work hard, stay in line, and obey your superiors. That's all your country's expecting of you.
Thank you for the advice. I'll keep that in mind. There's so much to learn. I'm a complete novice, sir.
I like your attitude, keep up the energy. Just work hard and you'll soon be an officer.
He liked the sound of what he heard. It seemed like here he might succeed, where men were not judged by their past, but rather by their words and deeds. He liked the way the army worked, a noble ladder to prestige, where he could prove himself a man and respect seemed within his reach.
Obedience, duty, ingredients for success. Rise through the ranks upon your own merit. Obedience, duty, this is a Junker legacy, a legacy of greatness that we now inherit. Obedience, duty, allegiance to the Kaiser, orders carried out and loyalties rewarded. Obedience, duty, service to the fatherland, defending our nation as those who came before did.
Haber, don't forget to live. Don't forget to taste the air. Haber, there's more to life than drills and duty.
What else is there?
Oh, Haber, you're a funny one. I think you've started losing sight of what really matters. Let's go to town and dance tonight.
Fritz Haber.
I'm Clara Imevar.
A pleasure.
What do you do, Fritz?
I
Fritz Haber?
I am soon to be a chemist. Physical chemistry, I wouldn't want to bore you with it.
My father is a chemist, and I plan to study at university as well.
Really? Who's this ghostly beauty? Oh, no one's ever moved me so. I'll never forget this face. Her gentle eyes will haunt me for all my days. Yes, her gentle eyes will haunt me for all my days. Who's this girl so sweet and shy? I can't let her pass me by. How is it that I feel so sure that she's meant for me and I am meant for her? Yes, she's meant for me and I am meant for her. Oh, how love's elements quickly react, driven by chemistries no one foresees. I can see myself spending all of my days untangling her mysteries.
Who is this boy so firm, direct, such confidence, such intellect? He doesn't know quite where he's aimed, but he will get there quickly all the same. Yes, he will get there quickly all the same. The pull of attraction against goals I've set, my fate tangled up in someone I've just met. Is this just a passing romance, or might ours be a longer lasting dance? Might ours be a longer lasting dance?
Oh, how love's elements quickly react, driven by chemistries no one foresees.
I can see myself spending all of my days untangling his mysteries. But I am driving towards my goals alone, where no woman has ever been before. I don't need a man to hold my hand. I am striving for something more. I have dreams, and I must chase them all down before my time here is through. There's so much to do. Yes, I have dreams beyond this small-minded town, beyond what's expected of me. Just wait and see. The world is so large and anything's possible. My eyes are wide open, I'm taking it in. If life is a garden, I'll taste every fruit it bears. The best leg of my journey is set to begin. It's time of progress and changes. A little confidence can get a woman far. I'll break down every wall in my pursuit of knowledge. Mark my words, soon I'll be Dr. Clara Imevar. I have dreams of unearthing life's basic truths. With science as a force for good, I think we could.
I like the ambition.
Yes, I have dreams of finding what makes the world move. Improving ourselves by and by, at least we can try.
I know what you mean, science holds all the answers. The future awaits us and what we will find.
It fills us with wonder, it lights up the darkness.
There are no more limits, but those of the mind. A dance, Dr. Clara Imevar.
But I am driving towards my goals alone, where no woman has ever tread before. I don't need a man to hold my hand. I am striving for something more.
Who's this ghostly beauty? Oh, no one's ever moved me so. I'll never forget this face. Her gentle eyes will haunt me for all my days.
Her gentle eyes would haunt him for all his days.
Obedience, duty, ingredients for success. Rise through the ranks upon your own merit. Obedience, duty, this is the Juncker legacy, a legacy of greatness that we now inherit. Obedience, duty, allegiance to the Kaiser, orders carried out and loyalties rewarded. Obedience, duty, service to the fatherland, defending our nation as those who came before did.
Fritz Haber, you've done quite well. I hear you're a hard-working fellow.
And all your marks have been top-notch. You really won us there.
You've all the trappings for success, and that's why it's with deep regret that we must inform you now that have come to bear.
We hope you understand, it just wouldn't fly.
We like you as a person and we're glad that you tried.
So we can't make you an officer, but I'm sure you'll find other ways to serve the Reich.
We hear you'll be studying chemistry.
And what a career that will be. Please do drop by to keep us posted. Best of luck in life.
Am I not good enough? Will I ever be good enough? External factors. Psh. What a fortune I have landed to be a German in this new century. The unquestionable leaders in chemistry and physics, the greatest minds assembled at the universities. And here I stand on the edge of my future, miles from Breslau. My time has arrived, and the path now seems clearer than ever before. But there still is a thorn in my side. There still is a slight inconvenience that stops me from hitting my stride. It's a thankless burden for a stand-up German, a hindrance I must cast aside. Yes, there still is this small complication that weighs down on my career. It lurks in the shadows of each conversation, a whispering doubt at my ear. For someone in my position, for someone with my ambitions, this small matter of religion is a pebble in my shoe, and it won't ever let me be, though I may tend to the tree. It's my roots that others see, it seems like time for something new.
There still is this small misfortune that keeps us from high society. There's only a downside to staying on the outside, and a few little words can help set us free.
Yes, one small change and all doors are open. What's the difference, Gentile or Jew? We're all simply Germans, and it couldn't hurt us to give up a tradition or two.
For someone in my position, for someone with my ambitions, this small matter of religion is a pebble in my shoe, and it won't ever let me be, though I may tend to the tree. It's the roots that others see, it seems like time for something new. Well, this lot life has dealt me is somewhat unfair, and not bearing a cross has been my cross to bear. There's a chink in my armor I've got to repair. It seems like time for something new. When headwinds are strong, one must bend or else break.
It'll help my career,
It's for my children's sake.
I'm a German, I'll prove that I have what it takes.
It seems like time for something new. There still are some small distractions in this flowering meritocracy. I'm a practical man, so I'll do all I can for a foot in the door and a chance to succeed. So farewell Breslau, starting fresh now. It's for the best now, this barrier's no more. It's a break with my past, and I've moved on at last. Lift this weight off my wings, now I'm ready to soar.
in the name of the Father,
And for the fatherland,
the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
but more importantly, I am finally a German. I have my reasons, so spare me the sermon. It's just a symbol, my way of affirming I'm totally determined to help make this nation great. For someone in my position, for someone with my ambitions, this small matter of religion is a pebble in my shoe, and it won't ever let me be, though I may tend to the tree. It's the roots that others see, it seems like time for something new. For someone in my position, for someone with my ambitions, this small matter of religion is a pebble in my shoe, and it won't ever let me be, though I may tend to the tree. It's the roots that others see, it seems like time for something new.
But even at that point, when Germany was becoming freer than ever before, the ivory towers of the scientific establishment were still difficult to penetrate. When Fritz Haber's application for a laboratory position was rejected by Wilhelm Ostwald, the leader of his field, he decided that he would have to succeed on his own terms.
Well, the big wigs in chemistry turned me away. I don't have what it takes, at least that's what they say. But when I've decided to see something through, you can bet I will fight till the bitter end. I'm stubborn that way, half scientist, half ox. I'll muscle my way through the blows and the knocks. I'll rise to the top through my hard work alone. I'm the only one on whom I can depend. I'll rise through the ranks, I don't need your help. I'll put in the hours until I prove myself. I'll pave my own way to fortune and fame. Remember the day you first heard my name. Haber, Haber. Chemistry's about transformations. If you put the work and time in, you can take an uncut stone and make from it a shining diamond. And hence through pyrolysis we see that the bond between carbon and carbon is certainly stronger than carbon and hydrogen ever achieves. Across all compounds in the aromatic domain, their enthalpic values clearly reveal some new basic tenets for our esteemed field. Was everything clear? I'll stand for questions. Is there anything I might further explain?
I question these findings with which you present us, just a little presumptive for a mere apprentice. I do think he comes on a smidgen too strong without the credentials to back up his words.
With all due respect, your opinion does not really sway me too much. It appears, Herr Professor's a bit out of touch. When it's clear from the data this phenomenon's real, your counter-argument's wholly absurd. I'll rise through the ranks, I don't need your help. I'll put in the hours until I prove myself. I'll pave my own way to glory and fame. Remember the day you first heard my name. Haber, Haber. Chemistry is moving quickly. Every day brings novel yields. If the field won't embrace me, it might be time to change the field. Yeah.
This Haber's a sponge, his drive knows no bounds. His head in the books from sun up till sundown. Though he came out of nowhere, he came running fast with a stubborn persistence and sharp intellect.
He's written his treatise, this textbook, this tome. It's through and complete. It really drives home. Fritz Haber's a new force in electrochemistry. Keep an eye out for what he does next.
I'll rise through the ranks, I don't need your help. I'll put in the hours until I prove myself. I'll pave my own way to glory and fame. Remember the day you first heard my name. Haber, Haber.
And that, gentlemen, is the work I have undertaken with Dr. Abegg on the solubility of various salts. Well, if it isn't Fritz Haber, the talk of the town.
It's been 10 years since we last met, but Dr. Immerwahr, how could I forget? I can't say I came here just 'cause I heard you'd be here, but just to be clear, I'm glad that I came. And have you seen the world? Have you been chasing your dreams? It's amazing, it seems just like yesterday.
I can't say I came just 'cause I saw your name. It wasn't my aim to relive old days, but it's good to see you too. It looks like you haven't made promotions and accolades, you're well on your way.
But I cannot help but feel there's a reason that we've met today. Now I'm not saying I believe in fate,
But it's true that both our paths have led us to this point today, and that does lend your theory some weight. Long ago I told you that I didn't need a man. I wasn't searching for companionship, I was searching for truth.
yes, I remember well, you were a bird on the wing. You weren't seeking a ring, that's what I liked about you. But let's give it a try, we can seek the truth together. Two birds of a feather, we're two of a kind. Will you join me on this journey? Will you take my hand? Can I be your man in a marriage of minds?
Well, I must admit it now, when I came out here to look for you, I didn't really know who I'd find. But I think that it could be that together we might face the future, joined in a marriage of minds. A marriage of minds.
Together let's find the future promised by science. A marriage of minds, our forces combined, joined in a lifelong alliance. A marriage of minds, come now let's bind our fortunes together with love's sacred ties. A marriage of minds, Clara, be mine,
And be mine as well.
through the lows and the highs.
Well, the French and the British are being quite unfair. They're a great power too, just laying claim to our share. So we're late to the game, making up for lost time. Just a small bit of empire is all that we ask. Some influence in Asia, some African coast, some tropical isles, half a dozen at most. We're playing by the rules that these hypocrites set. How dare they come out and take us to task? We'll rise to the top, we'll do what we must. We'll take every chance, it's empire or bust. We'll prowl through the seas and we'll claim foreign lands. Our destiny is marked by imperial plans. Deutschland, Deutschland. Oh yeah.
Who put the reins in the hands of my cousin? Who let this fool near the nuclear buttons? We thought he was bluffing, turns out he wasn't. Just look at that shiny new navy.
Oh, I detest all this rattling of saviors. With these two donagos really make for poor neighbors. We make strange allies, but this behavior we've been seeing lately, c'est un petit crazy.
You understand that we're concerned about the German attitude of late. We know that you mean no ill will. Would you like to set the record straight?
Nonsense! I take this opportunity to make it very clear that I'm a friend of Britain's. My British cousins think us brutes. How laughable, how very rude. You English are as mad as March hares anyhow. Now don't get me wrong, I love them. Well, my grandma was one of them. God bless Grandma Victoria, she's resting easy now. I promise I'm a friend of Britain's, true and loyal, thoroughly smitten. So it's true, I hate the way you treat me like a child. But these insults to my honor pain me. Why do you all so disdain me? So now let me say it plainly, I'm an Anglophile.
This guy is off his rocker, eh?
Totally mad.
It's the French and the Russians that you really shouldn't mistrust. In fact, they asked us to help crush you in that South-African manner. Well, we didn't, and it grieves me that you English all perceive me as holding one hand in greeting while the other holds a dagger. And your navy, oh, your navy, such a specimen of beauty. Well, we Germans need a matching one. It's the greatest form of flattery. We don't want to get aggressive. We just find it a necessity to guard our interest, you see. Now enough of this man.
Well, this little speech doesn't give us much comfort. His Wilhelm's days at the helm are numbered. His own people doubt his ability to govern. It's clear that the Kaiser is totally unfit.
He can't say much more, that his foot is in too deep. With neighbors like these, how's a Frenchman to sleep? C'est impossible, he just seems to keep on digging more holes and doesn't know how to quit. Oh la la!
Looking for more than an occupation. Wanna make a splash, be a big sensation. I hope I don't seem too impatient. I just want recognition.
This man's a publishing machine.
The most prolific man on scene.
One of the best we've ever seen.
So where's my tenured position?
He's a rock star, shooting star, certainly going far.
How can I prove myself?
He's a self-taught hotshot.
Gotta show him what I got. When's my big break? How long's it gonna take? You can't say I haven't put in the legwork. Electrolytic reduction of nitrobenzene, reduction of non-electrolytes, which demonstrated the relationship between current and concentration. Graphical tools for thermodynamics, metal dispersions at high voltages, measurements of electrochemical bridge polarizations.
He's on fire, never tires, gonna fight high flyer. He's never stopped since he cropped up on the scene.
I dropped these two names in a hat, though that Haber does seem to have a bit too much, might I say, chutzpah.
I'm in the running, in the game. Just say my name.
And the new head of the electrochemistry department is...
No one has more publications, but nobody has more frustrations. So many similar occasions when I have been looked over. It feels like I've worked twice as hard to get where all my colleagues are. Maybe it's finally in the cards. Maybe I should aim lower. Just when I think I've succeeded at last, I'm dragged down by my past.
We have selected Professor Fritz Haber.
Now, what sorts of problems does an ambitious chemist direct his attention towards? Only the most pressing ones, only the most impactful ones. Exhibit 1, in which William Crookes, president of the British Association for the Advancement of Science, set forth the most important unsolved problem of those days.
All civilized nations stand in deadly peril of not having enough to eat. As mouths multiply, food's resources dwindle. Land is in limited quantity, and the land that will grow wheat is absolutely dependent on difficult and capricious natural phenomena. There is a way out, and it is the chemist who must come to the rescue of the threatened communities. It is through the laboratory that starvation may ultimately be turned into plenty. The fixation of atmospheric nitrogen is one of the great discoveries awaiting the genius of chemist.
Professor, we have found something that might pique your curiosity. Intriguing traces of ammonia wafting down our factory floor. Granted, the quantities detected are quite small, but we suspect that someone of your intellect might find them worth exploring more.
I'm afraid I'm very busy with some previous engagements.
Just think of all the fame and all the riches it would bring you. A magical participant, the alchemy of air.
I don't think that I have the time
For science of the greatest kind.
All right, I'll see what I can find. Let's see what fruit this bears. 2, 3, 4. Hydrogen and nitrogen, shy partners in this fleeting dance. Is more heat all we need to stoke the flames of chemical romance?
800, 900, 1,000 degrees centigrade, and hardly any ammonia was produced, I'm afraid.
The heat disintegrates the product right upon formation. The alchemy of air, I think, has outlasted my patience. A disappointing finding, but a finding nonetheless. Let's publish it and move along. We've given it our best.
There's Walter Nurse, hotter than hot, wealthy inventor, cream of the crop, man of the field, top of the top.
There's Walter Nernst, I hate that swagger, so smug with all that fame and wealth. A theorem for this, a theory for that, and treating all his conjectures as facts. He's let all the attention inflate his sense of self. What is he going to say? What game is he going to play?
I've run through the experiments in Professor Haber's paper, but no cigar, my outcomes are less favorable than they were. When it comes to being inaccurate, he's really got a knack for it. It's too bad there's not much to show for such assiduous labor.
I ran hundreds of experiments in various reactor sizes under varied amounts of pressure and with different catalysts. And my results have been absolutely consistent. There's something Herr Nernst must have missed.
So sad the equilibrium shift he proposes is not enough to stabilize and synthesize more than a smidgen of the stuff. It's a struggle against the current, but still, even if it weren't, I think through this we've learnt that Haber's methods aren't up to snuff.
Well, Rossignol, that settles it. He's challenged me out in the open. I must defend my reputation. I'm hell-bent on it, fully roped in. We are drowning in this substance like sailors on a lifeboat, with water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. The chemicals we seek surround us, in the ether all around us. How can it so confound us? What's the missing link? The air we breathe has vast reserves just waiting to be mined, and only plants have found the way to pull them to the ground. The nitrogen we need is trapped, unreachable, but once we tap into the source, that golden sap will pour out by the pound. Rossignol, we need a pressure chamber sufficiently strong to hold hundreds of atmospheres as our reaction moves along. We'll build ammonia gas up over here, then quickly cool it. This joint attack of heat and pressure will be our silver bullet. I know the risks and dangers, but also the rewards. The world will go hungry no more.
Professor Haber, we get a scene. We didn't want to make a scene, just share with you the latest in some experience that we have seen. I now admit you may be right. Ammonia could be synthesized to my surprise. I now surmise I'll soon lay eyes on that grand prize.
Oh mein Gott, Scheiße! In double time! We must fly, Mr. Rossignol.
Herr Professor, our compressor is now ready for the testing. The seals are all functioning, the reaction chamber's set. And after some analysis, I think we found our catalyst.
It may be that this battle is about to reach its head. Well, will you look at that? We've done it. Sir Rossio, we've done it.
Dort ausruft bread from air. You took the rabbit right out of the hat. Thomas Malthus, hold that thought. Our fields will be fertile, our cattle all fat.
A wild stroke of genius, a true coup de grace, bred from air, the challenge of the century.
Bred from air, the future of mankind.
Ooh. So 3 cheers for Haber, destined for the top of the field.
Splendid job, it's the story of the year.
I'm sure that the Swedes have a prize with your name on it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Another round of beer. Bred from air, science shapes the future now. Bred from air, a future full of plenty. Ooh.
A triumph for science, for Germany too. Now the world will be fed by a German idea.
We've scrapped our reliance on imports of agriculture. You've picked the nitrate lock. Now we're free.
Are you satisfied, Herr Haber? You've earned your laurels, you can rest now. Have you scratched your itch for greatness? It's been a long, long road from Breslau. You could stop right now, enjoy your fame. You would not shine any less now. You've become one of German science's crown jewels.
Bred from air, let's raise a glass to science then. Bred from air, future's looking bright. Ooh, a wondrous time to be alive. There are no heights that science can't reach.
A beacon that shines and shows us the way.
A teacher with still much more to teach.
Am I glad for Fritz? Of course. He's changed the world, he's made his name. But as he rises up, I'm standing still, and every day's more of the same. What happened to my hopes and dreams? For what? Where do I lay the blame? I feel as though I've sacrificed so much. But even through shades of blue, I still can admire the passion he brings. And though I'm left behind, I still can feel pride looking on from the wings. He's used science as a force for good to lift all human beings.
Cheers for all the lives you'll save. Hey, bread from air.
A Midas of our time. You'll appear in the books as the hero who cooked up the theory that shook up the world. I dare say life will never again be the same for it.
I'm sure
Well, our hero star had started to rise, and he got himself noticed by all the right guys. So the Kaiser needed someone just like Fritz. But under the linden trees of Berlin, our hunger for empire is just setting in. And an empire with ambitions needs ambitious scientists.
And French will never respect us. They look down their noses at us. They reject us. I'm tired of their condescending games. They never invite us to anything.
We need science, this science, then science. And the bullies next door won't dare defy us. It's a way to earn their respect and bolster our claims. Because science is not just science, it's also power and self-reliance. It's an arms race and we're behind since we haven't modernized our empire's brand. We need an Oxford, Carnegie, Cambridge. We need to foster a brand new image. We need a prestigious set of institutes that link science to the fatherland. We could call it the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute.
Does have a nice ring.
Now let's decide who will run this thing.
Well, you're in the eagle's clutches, he has set his eyes on you. When the empire calls, this much is clear, it's an offer you can't refuse. It's an honor and a privilege, a sign you've made it big. So when the empire calls on you, you got to take the gig.
When the empire calls on you, when the empire calls. If you want to roam the halls of power, if you want to be known as a man of the hour, if you strive to be the best in all you do, then you step right up when the empire calls on you.
Clara, we're going to Berlin. We need to build a dream team with some scientific greats. And with your work on photosynthesis, you're among the heavyweights. So come on, join us in Berlin. The Kaiser will be pleased to have such luminaries in charge of chemistry. When the empire calls on you, when the empire calls. If you want to roam the halls of power, if you want to be known as the man of the hour, if you strive to be the best in all you do, then you step right up when the empire calls on you.
Such a dream team summoned to Berlin. Max Planck, Albert Einstein, and so many others, all enticed by the chance to join the German Reich's new scientific initiative. And who is leading this monument to science? Who is the man the Kaiser's turning to for guidance? Who reigns over the institute, a giant among giants? This is where Fritz Haber began his transition from great scientist to great German.
When the empire calls on you, when the empire calls. When you're summoned to greatness, how could you decline?
You're top of the heap now, you do it just fine.
The Kaiser is waiting to be up by you.
Recognize at last.
And moving up so fast.
Time for Germany to show how cultured we can be.
So step right up, step right up.
Step right up when the empire calls on you.
We're going to have a 10-minute intermission. See you in 10 minutes.
Did
you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Have you heard Franz Ferdinand was murdered by the Serbians?
They talk of young Bosnians, they talk of the Black Hand, but Serbia's behind it all. What's our attack plan?
Just give us the word and we'll have the mass all out crush them in their foolish assassins.
The empire is under fire, and enemies knock at our door. Pesky neighbors must be dealt with. We must answer with a war.
It's time for a war.
Now I don't like to fight, but we've quite earned the right to a quick little war.
So let's ask the Kaiser, our main sympathizer. He must take our backs when we finally attack.
When we do, the Serbs will find they've woken up a slumbering lion.
Kaiser, the Serbs are conspiring against us.
We're ready for blood, but of course we will see if we can ease tensions through diplomacy.
In the off chance that our tempers run short, can we rely on our neighbors' support?
Times like these are when we find out what alliances are for. Warns the Serbians to be careful, lest they want a little war.
It's time for a war. When politics fail, the cannons prevail. A quick little war. Went up and gave them a clear ultimatum. Now we'll just wait until we can invade them.
I hope that this letter serves to nip the problem in the bud.
When their answer does not please us, we may have to spill some blood.
A war couldn't be that bad for us now, could it?
It's a great opportunity, trust me, my Kaiser. I speak with you candidly as your advisor. You said it yourself, we must move assertively. It's our time to shine now, so don't speak so furtively. Germany has been ignored, for far too long we have been shunned. Now we'll show those other bullies, we'll get our place in the sun. It's time for a war. Hear me out, gentlemen. Trust me, we're meant to win. And this quick little war, it's all been thought out. A fast 1-2 punch.
We'll eat waffles for breakfast and croissants for lunch.
The socialist cancer that worries us so will fast disappear as we'll face down our foes.
And now as we enter our most glorious hour, we'll give the people what they want, empire and power.
The Kaiser will bolster his standing, the German people will unite, and our great nation will prevail, fueled by military might.
It's time for a war, so no one feels slighted, all Europe's invited. A quick little war.
This struggle of nations has come to a head. There's no going back now, some blood must be shed.
Don't ask how it's come to this, seems we just stumbled in. Time for a war, just a quick little war.
A war of necessity, nothing more.
Time for a fight, just to make all wrongs right.
Put them back in their place.
Military might.
Time to try to settle scores. Time for a quick little war. Under the linden trees in Berlin, can you feel the winds of war blowing in? In Berlin, there's something in the air. Tension is high and prices are higher. Rumors and doubts throw fuel on the fire. In Berlin, there's something in the air.
A nervous chatter growing loud that ripples through the massive crowds, and singing voices lifting on the breeze under the linden trees.
Deutschland, über alles in der Welt.
I see no more parties in my fold. I see only Germans joined as one. All that matters now is a brotherhood we share. Victory lies ahead, and God will lead us there.
I see no more parties in my fold. I see only Germans joined as one. All that matters now is the brotherhood we share. Victory lies ahead, and God will lead us there.
The glow of belonging, the handshakes and grim, resolve and acceptance as fate settles in, binding one soul to Germany's under the linden trees.
How quickly all of Europe has descended into war, abhorrent, so senseless as blood soaks the land.
But we must all remember what we're really fighting for. This war is defensive. It's clear they force our hand.
But what now do we stand for? Do we jump in the fray? Do we leap to the cause?
We are Germans, first and foremost. So enough hesitation, let's rise for our nation. In peacetime for mankind, in war for the fatherland, our country demands all that we can provide. So take off those kid gloves and join in the fight. In peacetime for mankind, in war for the fatherland.
Oh, it's clear that the leaders of our martial forces neglected their courses on logistical affairs. Our rubber and oil and ammo's imported from tenuous sources, so we must be prepared.
All should step up to assist where we can. Set a course, draft a plan. We're all logical men.
Ensuring our factories across the land can all meet the demand for a war that never seems to end. In peacetime for mankind, in war for the fatherland, this war calls for all of the strength we can muster.
Come on, industrious, jump in with gusto.
In peacetime for mankind, in war for the fatherland.
So calling all scientists intellectuals, I'm positive that we will agree that we should all rise as one and put forth a declaration in support of our nation unequivocally. Yes, just sign your name and you've proven your loyalty. Defend German soil and all German acts. This letter makes clear that the intelligentsia stands behind our men as they ward off attacks.
To civilization, as representatives of the German science and arts, we hereby protest to the civilized world against the slanders and lies from which our enemies are endeavoring to stain the honor of Germany in our hard struggle for existence, a struggle that has been forced upon her. It is not that the German people is guilty of causing this war. The German people did not want this war, neither did the government, neither did the Kaiser. Only after overpowering forces that long were lurking on our borders fell upon the German people from three sides, and then they arise as one.
In peacetime for mankind, in war for the fatherland, it's not just the soldiers who must give their all. In science and industry, now hear the call. In peacetime for mankind, in war for the fatherland.
To have citizens advising us in military matters goes against the grain.
But we've read your report and admit it's important that we work together to maximize gain.
So we invite industry into the war ministry. You scientists can help any way you devise.
Let's all march in step in producing more weapons and keeping supply lines lined up with supplies.
Isn't that something?
A new paradigm.
A budding romance.
It's a most welcome sight in tumultuous times.
When soldiers and scientists join hand in hand.
So, in peace, time for mankind, in war for the fatherland, put all else on ice, time to rise for your nation, a glorious new age of collaboration, in peacetime for mankind, in peacetime for mankind, in peacetime for mankind, in war for the fatherland.
A rising tide of national pride. It washes the continent black, red, and yellow, joining the merchant and peasant as one. A nation still hot from the flames of the furnace. The campaign for greatness begins now in earnest. A sense of duty to Kaiser and country, ready to rise and fight. And as Germany flies, so does our scholar, urged on by momentum of their own creation, blind to the precipice, flying near the sun, sailing with speed towards treacherous rocks, playing with fire in a tinderbox. From dust unto dust, from darkness to greatness, then fading out of the light. Haber, you late blooming science outsider, exemplar and hero of your chosen field, a chemist, magician, a modern day Midas, making bread from the air, on a hunch and a dare, with an alchemist's flair, a fertile new future unveiled. And how does the son of a merchant of dyes descend from the comfort of ivory towers, to sit down in war rooms with none but the Kaiser, advising on matters top rung of the ladder, and gradually gathering a mind-boggling level of power. With far too much energy for your own good, you drank in the times and you helped where you could, and no one need mention you loved the attention, with nothing quite quenching your thirst for horizons unseen. Oh, Haber, your name might have rung through the ages, your victory sung out in history's pages. If only you'd stopped once you climbed to the top, but instead you opted to cling to a vanishing dream. But how many men, given the key, could resist the urge to see where it leads, could resist the chance to pass through history's arches, the portals to power and glory and fame, to etch into stone their achievements and name. It's the stuff of legend, a Faustian bargain, a Mephistophelian deal.
Just in from Flanders, oh dear, not quite what I'd hoped to hear. Arceti's attack has been pushed back. It's looking more and more not to be such a quick little war.
Fritz, your son is asking for you. You haven't seen him in a week.
My country and the Kaiser need me now.
Little Herman needs his father now.
One day he'll understand this is for Germany,
which it seems you put before your family.
Listen, millions of lives have been upended, thousands of hopes and dreams are ended. Clara, we cannot pretend that everything remains the same. My country falters, I must defend it. Clara, you must understand that my time is finite and I must spend it keeping our men in the game. If I hadn't greased the wheels, stepped up quickly closing deals, our ammunition would have run out after no more than 6 months. But I found new applications for nitrogen fixation, producing nitric acid to keep powder in our guns. Would you rather see us face defeat? The Russians dancing down our street.
But for what have we prolonged the slaughter? Germany's youth is cannon fodder. Is anything worth all the sacrifice? If we win, at what cost? If we win, at what price?
And that is why it's vital I help keep us in the fight. I know it's not a pretty sight, but we must do what we can do. And the way to end it swiftly is a rapid German victory, which we'll only achieve if we grit our teeth and see it through. Would you rather see our Kaiser kneel at a French or British general's heel?
You and your Kaiser, always your Kaiser.
Our Kaiser.
How you idolize the man who put us in this mess. Well, I'll leave you to your romance, I must confess. Each day I feel I know you less and less. I don't recognize the man I married many years ago, who saw science as a force for good.
She doesn't understand, I'm just doing what I can, what any citizen would do. with the tools he had on hand. And gone are the days when sheer numbers and force were enough to overwhelm and set a war's course. For this war is a war for the scientists, a war for new technologies, a war for engineers. And the discoveries we glean are finding homes in new arenas. You can bet our enemies are following swiftly at our heels. So show me the way I can make myself of use, some way that I might answer my nation's appeals. I'm distinguished for my work, I'm respected in my field, and most men would be content with the influence I wield. But in these trying times, I feel that something's missing still, the chance to prove myself a patriot, to feel the battle's thrill. And this war is a war for the scientists. Submarines and zeppelins patrol the seas and skies. Radiophones and airplanes, flamethrowers, armored tanks. For all of these, who can we thank but scientific minds? So show me some way I can join on in the fray to help our men out at the front lines. There must be some way I can help. I would do anything for the chance to help bring this war to a quick end. Anything.
Professor Fritz Haber, you'd like to help us.
Or so we've heard.
Yes, it's true.
You seem like a man desperate for a chance to prove his worth.
Yes, what can I do?
A man who's looking for a chance to truly shine.
To fully demonstrate the workings of his mind.
Gentlemen, I would do anything for the fatherland.
We think that we've identified a way that we might turn the tide. An idea that's been, shall we say, floating in the air. An idea that can shake up this war of attrition.
An idea you can take up and bring to fruition.
A new way of approaching this frustrating trench warfare.
It's gas clouds of gas floating down into the trenches of our soldiers above ground with its itch or its stench.
Yes, gas, so our enemies come out and fight like men.
Just fascinating.
We will leave it to you then.
We've already tried it out. There have been some failed attempts, but we're eager
to see what you and your chemist will invent.
Yes, this war is a war for the scientists. And here's a challenge into which I can sink my teeth. Something new and unexplored, it pulls me in and draws me forward. It's intriguing, that's for sure, and I must see where it might lead. No need to overanalyze, for I do this for my Kaiser, as any German would in his nation's time of need.
You wanted to help, and like in all else, you gave it your all, you committed yourself. So off we embarked to illuminate dark and unexpected corners of chemistry's arts. But who could have guessed just how dark things would get?
Our chemists are all at the front. We're working with a skeleton crew. The job we're charged with looms quite large, but still, let's see what we can do. Max and Walter test out irritants. Richard, antidotes and masks. This effort begs all hands on decks and dedication to our tasks. A war is a war, and by any other name, it stinks just as badly, it reeks all the same. A new arrow in our quiver, a new gun at our hip. We must gain an edge or risk losing our grip.
Fluorosulfonite, perhaps, and xylobromide capsules too.
Bromacetone, a gas that's known for tearing eyes and blearing views.
Filtered gas mask layers deep to guard one's eyes and neutralize any wayward toxic vapors should unexpected winds arise.
War is a war, and by any other name, still race to the bottom, a cynical game. With an ace in our hand, a new trick up our sleeves, with surprise on our side, it's not hard to believe that our work here can help to end this war. And really that's what this is all about at its core.
Gentlemen, your progress is impressive, but these substances, this itching, stinking material leaves much to be desired. We want something more permanent, that more than just burns a bit, something that puts them out of action.
Retired.
Expired.
I know we must do what we can for the Reich, but isn't this just a bit unsportsmanlike?
It does feel wrong, a bit unfair.
Don't fret too much, I can help you out there. For death is death, and by any other name. However inflicted, results are the same. Do we fight for the hell of it? No, we fight for a win.
In that case, mynheer, I suggest we begin on a brand new tack, a new attack, a tactically ambitious plan. It's time to pitch in with conviction. The general's wishes our command. And of course I'll need support, a full division's worth of men.
You'll be our direct report.
Let's get this show started then.
A war is a war, nothing less, nothing more. So terrible and pointless, what was it all for? But in war's giddy fog, we all truly believed we had convinced ourselves that we had to succeed, and that our work here could help us end this war. And really, that's what this was all about at its core.
Long ago, before all of this, before the world went mad, before I lost, no, before I gave away what foolish dreams I had, when knowledge was the ultimate prize, and man pursued only answers and truths, and there was love, not all of this hate, and there were moral absolutes. I could imagine a world where I might be happy, or at least try, but it's harder and harder day by day to find a chased the moon, and he chased the sun. I've become more and more empty inside. Is this it? Can there be nothing more? All of my dreams, what were they all for? And the world hurtles on at a senseless pace in a wasteful, awful war. And is this it? How can this be it? Everything's blurred, nothing is right. I know it's darkest before the dawn, but I don't know if I'll make it through the night. Am an idealist or am I a traitor? Is he a patriot or a monster instead? When did everything stop making sense? What have we destroyed just to get ahead? I used to think science could pull us away from our baser instincts, but they still hold sway. It's all been inverted, it's all been perverted. It hurts to see it used this way. I could imagine a world where I might be happy, or at least try, but it's harder and harder day by day to find a reason why. Oh, why?
Something in the air, something in the air, something in the air, something in the air, in the air, in the air.
Fritz, you can't do this.
Professor Haber,
It's a perversion of science. It's barbaric. What do you stand for, Fritz?
I stand for my country, and for this I can never apologize. I will see you and the little one when I'm back from the front.
I see German destiny unfolding. I see all our nation joined as one. All that matters now is a brotherhood we share. Victory lies ahead, and God will lead us there.
I see German destiny unfolding. I see all our nation joined as one.
All that matters now is a brotherhood we share. Victory lies ahead, and God will lead us there.
I see German destiny unfolding. I see all our nation joined as one.
All that matters now is a brotherhood we share. Victory lies ahead, and God will lead us there.
And you jumped right into the war at the front, leading the charge at the forefront, the first to conjure bread from air, and the first to conjure death from air.
Well, we've heard reports that the French and the British are using gas too, so no need to get skittish. Think of the lives we can save with a quick win. I've heard we're not the first, we certainly won't be the last to attack with gas, so why so aghast?
We must wait for favorable winds.
Then we'll rationalize what they can. And Fritz Haber, after all, was no more than a man.
Can we do it now?
Not yet.
Curse this foolish venture. We have been waiting for the winds to change for weeks.
Professor Haber, the winds have turned.
Soldiers, as you were trained.
Haber is back, he's back from the front.
Back from the chase and back from the hunt.
Back from his newest, greatest stunt.
The scientist, the soldier, here he comes.
True German, a patriot through and through, a true son of the fatherland, a champion for the truth, a true German, blood and iron to the core, with science as his weapon as he rises to the fore.
Back from the field and your reputation sealed, with this weapon you wield, helping out our boys.
So a toast to the most influential man here.
Raise a glass for our friend, may this war soon end.
Hey!
Brainchild's been deployed.
A true German, a patriot through and through, a true son of the fatherland, a champion for the truth, a true German, blood and iron to the core, with science as our weapon as we rise to the fore.
Aha, but now it would appear he's no longer the most influential man here.
Haber is a chemist, is a martial academic. We're all quite impressed with the way you've led this innovative style of fighting and the way you've justified investments that we've made in science to see what fruits they yield. So it's my honor to issue a promotion, a recognition of your loyalty and devotion. So Captain Haber, yes, Captain Haber, to more success in your field and more wins on the battlefield.
True German, a patriot through and through, a true son of the fatherland, a champion for the truth, a true German, blood and iron to the core, with science as his weapon as he rises to the fore, with science as his weapon as he rises to the fore.
Clara guides a happily drunk Fritz Haber back to bed, with the triumphant music from the last scene still echoing. As he settles into bed, she sits on the edge of the mattress for a long while. Clara, suddenly moving with resolve, crouches on the floor in order to rummage for something beneath the bed, then stands up again. The shadows on the wall clearly indicate to the audience that she now has a revolver in her hand. She quickly walks out of the bedroom and exits off stage. Her steps click loudly from off stage for several paces until they suddenly halt. After several tense beats of silence, a single shot rings out, followed by the sound of a body hitting the floor. Fritz Haber jolts awake.
What was that? Clara? 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 Ah, Clara, Clara, nein, es kann nicht sein, Clara. Oh, Clara. How can it be my Clara's gone? I doubted I could keep on going, but the machine of war grinds on. It keeps this pain inside from growing. I worry I can't bear this task, this burden under which I labor. And in war's twilight fog I ask how I missed my chance to save her. But we must keep on fighting till the bitter end. When your life has been built around a promise to yourself, when you've already given so much it's too late to repent, you must keep on fighting till the bitter end.
This war's dragged on for 3 years now. The nation's patience is wearing thin.
A stalemate on both our fronts and the blockade still closing in.
Now's the time to give free rein to the whole fleet of submarines. Unrestricted new campaign to shoot on sight, to shoot to sink.
Yes, we must keep on fighting till the bitter end. And we must project confidence, it's what the people want. We're besieged from all sides now and can't find a friend, so we must keep on fighting till the bitter end.
Release the U-boats.
Yes, we must keep on fighting till the bitter end. When your world falls apart and there's no going back.
When you've gone much too far, it's too late to repent.
You must keep on fighting till why are we fighting still? Must keep on fighting till the bitter end. Till the bitter end. Till the bitter end. Till the bitter end. Till the bitter end.
Geheimheit, Professor Haber. This country's Academy of Science has rewarded you the 1918 Nobel Prize for Chemistry in recognition of your great services in the solution of the problem of directly combining atmospheric nitrogen with hydrogen. A solution to this problem has been repeatedly attempted before, but you were the first to provide the industrial solution and thus to create an exceedingly important means of improving the standards of agriculture and the well-being of mankind. We congratulate you on this triumph in the service of your country and the whole of humanity. Please accept now your prize from the President of the Nobel Foundation.
Many famous faces are absent from the crowd. The silent accusations are unbearably loud. Whatever I'm guilty of, they are as well. Were we right? Were we wrong? Only time will tell. I thought that science would be our salvation. I waited on victory with bated breath. But it proved a temptress. It used us, enslaved us, seduced us, then gave us 4 years of death. Thousands upon thousands dead. Such a waste, and we still lost. What happened, my friend? What was it all for? Do you know that some of them call me a war criminal? The hypocrites, we're all in the same boat. What did I stand for? For progress and science, and for my country, for Germany. But now it's all crumbled, it's reduced to rubble. The nation we fought for, brought to its knees. We are slowly being crushed by these war reparations. I must do something to help. What can I do to help? Anything. We can extract gold from seawater. It's there in trace amounts. We pulled bread from air. So why not gold from the seas? Science and technology will save us yet. But it's futile. It's futile. And the skies are darkening. The clouds gathering. Out of the ashes, we thought we'd rise. Rise like a phoenix, take to the air. Yes, something is rising now as the old eagle dies. It's replaced by a monster and hope by despair. And I gave so much for a world that's no more, infected by a virus, gone up in smoke. Who could have guessed what betrayal lay in store? Who could have known such black flames would be stoked? Being German, being a patriot, was not something to be judged, but like spring and summer, something to adjust to, like everything eternal. And what hurts the most may have been how I so naively helped start this fire. With passion and ardor that came from within, I jumped on the bandwagon into the pyre. And all the innovations and all of the tools and all of the science that we helped to shape is left to be used by these ignorant fools like fire in the hands of apes. What dark monster have we awakened? We felt that anybody could achieve anything, that Germany could achieve anything as long as we pledged our loyalty to the fatherland on every occasion. As though Germany were in danger and had to be rescued again and again through our devotion. How foolish we were. I was a true German, a patriot through and through, a true son of the fatherland, a champion for the truth. Now will I die a wanderer, an exile alone? What mistakes did I make? How could I have known? I was one of the mightiest men in Germany. All doors were open to me. Now they have closed forever.
What has fate done to you?
Heroes are made from the same mold as villains, their portrait darkened or lit up by its frame, and history's left with mere outlines to fill in, a tale to recount, a statue to mount, a myth to tear down, an echoing story and name. But how many men, given the
resist the urge to see where it leads, could resist the chance to pass through history's arches, the portals to power and glory and fame, to etch into stone their achievements and name.
It's the stuff of legend, a Faustian bargain, a Mephistophelian deal.
Jordan, amazing musical director. Thanks to Ben in the back. And thank you guys.
I just have to say, Eric wrote, directed, produced, did this whole thing. He's been working on this for many years. Not only has he never written a musical before, he's never been in a musical before. I learned at the start of this rehearsal process. So amazing work. Good job.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks to the cast. This has been a really fun project, and thanks to everyone involved. Andres for the amazing orchestrations that you heard pre-recorded. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, are not too depressed, because there is an exclusive after party at the Highland
Kitchen.
The Highland Kitchen. Very exclusive. Only you're invited. Yeah, thanks for coming.